Lesson 32. The Song of the Crystals. You have heard of the whale's song, how they sing to one of their brothers or sisters at a greater distance, how when the song is carried through the vibration of the water, also love and energy and nourishment for one another is carried. Think of the whale's song, how elusive it is, and how it took people a long time to appreciate its beauty, its power, its fullness. The crystals sing the same kind of song to one another over the whole face of the earth. The mineral kingdom is as the whale family when they come to communicate with one another. They sing this song in their own individual tone vibrations to one another. They are schooled more so than people. Because they are the mineral kingdom does not mean that they do not excel in their own way, in some things much overhuman, in their own uniqueness, their own specialties, the things that they have allowed themselves to excel in. They can do better than human beings. Else, why would people employ them to do something that they cannot do? When these crystals speak to each other over the surface of the earth, they form a network, powerful design of energy. It is a strong, integrated cosmic energy. They will have ability to use this, and you will be able to employ them to serve your cause when you have brought yourself into your own individual beauty, so that you deserve their closeness and their service. The three crystals that we have spoken of include the rays of cobalt blue, golden yellow, and ruby red. They bathe themselves during their waiting period in patience and serenity. They call to one another for support, and they send out songs to that human whom they feel is nearest to them in vibration and cause. They are of themselves a total soul. They work together as a triad in complete harmony with one another. They are in communication with each other at all times. You would see it as an elongated communication, for maybe one word and certainly one sentence might take 2,000 years to complete. This is their language, their vibration, their life. Let us follow the pattern of individuals in their relationship to their crystal for our instruction. As we have said, each crystal points its energy toward a certain human being. The ruby crystal, for instance, centers its energy on certain individuals in the eventuality that they choose to take as part of their instruction and part of their service to the planet, working in conjunction with the crystal. These individuals have the ability, the potential, the past history to do so. They only need to choose once again to dedicate themselves in this manner. Their vibration is in relationship to the ruby as no other. They can match oscillations and the changes within the ruby crystal better than most of those about them. They have put themselves in the periphery of the crystal's aura. They have drawn near enough in their consciousness, and often in their physical whereabouts, to be exchanging energy and thought patterns with the crystal. They begin to feel its energy within their bones, and often frequent the area where the crystal lies hidden, without knowing why they do so. They begin to devote time and thought to moving to the site, and they attempt to purchase the land, or at least to have easy accessibility to it. In their higher mind, they hear the calling of the song. They can leave the thought for weeks, but they surprise themselves by seeing plans they did not see before and acting on them, not fully knowing why. They begin to devote time and thought to moving to the site, and they attempt to purchase the land, or at least to have easy accessibility to it. In their higher mind, they hear the calling of the song. They can leave the thought for weeks, but they surprise themselves by seeing plans they did not see before and acting on them, not fully knowing why. It might be mentioned here that you do not need to picture your full creative time being spent working only with crystals. However, you need to understand that once you have schooled yourself in closeness to a crystal and have taken up your position as the one who has the key to a specific crystal, then you have a lockbox of reserve energy that you can tap at any time. You can leave this energy source at any time, as long as you do it just service. If you do not leave it inert, it will still respond to you on your return and be yours to school yourself with and to use for the benefit of humankind. If you were to abandon it and leave it inert for too long a time, another would be drawn near and come into relationship with it and use it. It would form a new key, for the old key would have been thrown away and the lock sealed. Out of disuse, it would have evaporated its formula and sealed over the equation. As long as a crystal is being employed, as long as it is being given an opportunity to use itself, and to grow in its own pattern. Then it will attach itself to that one and be dedicated and faithful in that service to that one person. The ruby crystal, the golden crystal, and the blue crystal each has its service to perform, and at this time of writing have attached themselves to individuals and are serving in their own way. In the near future, the service will be more apparent, more acknowledgeable, and will surface, literally, so that all might have more comprehension of it. Let us explain. The absence of one in a triad immediately begins to draw within its structure another to replace the one missing. Because as a cell cannot exist healthily without all of its functioning parts, the triad cannot exist healthily without all of its active parts. If there is a withdrawing with intent not to return, then immediately somewhere in the universe another energy of like nature begins to draw into that space that has been left empty. It is the same with the crystal. If a crystal wishes to activate itself in the service of humankind, it has to channel its energy through a specific human being. If that human being forms a relationship with the crystal, it will attach itself to that one and be faithful and dutiful in its service through that one. If that human being detaches and loses interest and does not set his mental structure toward the crystal continually, then that crystal will immediately send its song out to someone else. It will shift and search and call for another aspirant to come, to begin to work with it. There can be times when a crystal will send its song out and calling one who is near to the one that the crystal is calling for. In this way, get in touch with one who is built properly to work with it. For the one who hears the song will report it to his friend, and the friend will hear the song more clearly and comprehend its meaning more fully than the original discoverer. It is not finders keepers in the world of crystals in this new age, because energy patterns must agree. You might find a crystal for someone else while they are finding a crystal for you or another. Once you find your crystal, as long as you are conscientiously learning and growing with the crystal, that crystal will keep its secrets specifically for you. Crystals always work in triads now, for this is the time of the triad energy. 1, 3 will join together, 3 making 6, then 9, then 12. Yet the generative energy, the point of creation, will be in the basic 3. In the formations previously, we were working in the Piscean energy, the energy of the 2. Now we work in the Aquarian energy, the age of triads. It is well to know this because when changes take place in the social structure, there is some upheaval and resistance until they are seen as timely, important, and useful. Allow yourself to feel yourself expanding. Do not get hung up in numbers. See it as a fluid movement. Feel your greater closeness to those about you, and notice that when you meet people now, you establish a recognition of their closeness more quickly than you previously have. Feel your greater closeness to those about you, and notice that when you meet people now, you establish a recognition of their closeness more quickly than you previously have. Notice this and work with it. Hold in the back of your mind, your powerful mind, the thought that you have work to do with each of these beautiful people that you meet and recognize. Know that within you is a comprehension of what you must do, and that this knowledge will surface as you apply yourself to your own purification. As your consciousness expands, because it has clear, clean space to reach into and fill, you will see more, and into your hands will fall the joyful duties for which you have waited, that will bring you to your fulfillment. There is a song in your heart, high-tuned and fine, echoing crystal melody, connecting all.